All right, hey guys, so it is the Monday night Dream Team Zoom, and it is the 27th of April. I always have to check the calendar these days. You guys, like we had a big weekend, right? A super big weekend. Hopefully a lot of you were on the power plan last night, so I'm not going to go over the GOAT promo and all that stuff. Plus I've done a live, we have a lot of stuff. So what I want to talk about tonight specifically, and this is for any time that you're in this business, but specifically now, I want to talk about going all in, because now's the time to go all in if you're going to go all in. So basically, when you are playing poker, right? So I don't know if you guys play poker or maybe you have a favorite card game. Basically, when you're gambling, playing poker, and you feel in your heart and in your eyes the hand you're looking at is the best, you put all your chips in. That is literally the meaning of going all in. So I want to talk about what could possibly be keeping you from putting your chips all in with your Thrive business, okay? And so it goes back to what I said. It's when you know in your heart, like, you know that feeling you get when you're like, oh my gosh, I have the winning hand, like I'm totally going to win all this money. And you're like, ha, 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 and you push everything in and you're like, yeah. Why don't you feel like that every day when you wake up and you're thinking about your Thrive business? Like, that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. That's what we're going to dive in today. So I'm going to keep checking that waiting room. So basically it's just a matter of you having self-confidence in your business, because here's the thing. You already take the product. So you already know it's good, that it works. There's no like iffy, two of my friends took it and their eyes turned blue and one girl had to go to the ER, but I feel like it might be okay. Like, there's none of that happening. People are taking Thrive every day. People feel great every day. It is legit. So you don't even have to worry about that. And you don't even have to worry about the company not being legit, right? They've surpassed all the goals. They're debt-free. They will tell you that a million times over. There's not a lot of companies that can tell people that. They are constantly pushing out promos, developing new products. They are in a time when most businesses are pulling back and restricting. They are expanding, right? They are going all in. They're going all in with their business. So let's talk about what it is about you up here or in here, or maybe it's in your gut, wherever it is. It's a level of self-confidence that you don't yet have. And that is why you're not going all in. And this is going to be different for all of you, because I don't know where everyone's self-confidence lies or what it is that's stopping them. But I'm going to read a couple things. Low self-confidence isn't a life sentence. Okay, self-confidence can be learned. It has to be practiced, and it can be mastered just like any other skill. Obviously, once you master it, your life is going to change. So think about something that you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to learn how to ride a bike. Maybe you wanted to learn how to sew. You know, you probably stuck yourself with the needle a couple of times. You probably had crooked breeches. The very first pair of pants I ever sewed were from my dad's Halloween costume one year. And when I held them up, instead of the butt coming in, the butt went out. It was a hot mess and we had to fix it. But I learned, right? So I practiced. I made another pair. I kept fixing it. And now I can make a pair of pants if I need to. So it didn't happen overnight. I did become a magical, fabulous sewer overnight. The first time you cooked something, you weren't great at it overnight, right? But you kept trying and you kept doing it until you finally woke up one day and you're like, you know what? I can get on that bike and ride. I know exactly how to do it. I'm not going to fall over. I'm not worried about, crashing. I'm not worried about not knowing how to operate the gears on the bike. It takes practice and time. And so the best thing you can do is spend that time on whatever it is that you're doing. So let's talk about picking a goal. And then again, I'm going to read this because some stuff I just found, I was like, this is good. Instead of me trying to figure it out, I'm going to read it. Just pick a goal you truly want to achieve. I'm going to guess right now it's probably your GOAT promo. And take a clear-eyed look at your weakness, right? So a lot of times I think we want to talk about what we're good at, but we need to, sorry, I'm letting people in and out of the waiting room. A lot of times we want to talk about what we're good at or trying to get better at, but we're going to talk about what you're actually weak at. So pick a goal that you truly want to achieve. Take a clear-eyed look at your weakness. Not so that you will feel less confident, but so that you can determine exactly what you need to work on. And then guess what? Get to work. Celebrate small successes, analyze your weaknesses, keep going. As you gain skills, you will also gain a feeling of genuine confidence, one that can never be taken away. So let me explain to you. So earlier today, Lindsay was like, hey, will you do an opportunity Zoom with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And probably like, I don't know, 7 minutes before it was supposed to start, I wanted to throw up a little. And so I texted her and I'm like, I'm getting nervous. I feel like a new girl. And she was like, I'm on here already. Like she was already on there 7 minutes ahead because she was nervous too. So we did it. Nobody died. I don't know if we did exactly the right thing. I don't know if I said exactly the right stuff, but I can guarantee now that I've done it, when I do it again, it's going to be easier and easier. So I want you guys to think about in your business, there is something in your self-confidence that you don't feel 100% with. Oh, now we've got chat. Oh, thank you. Awesome and genuine. Thank you, Laura. You're so sweet. I was afraid the chat was going to mess up the waiting room and I panicked. So what is it that's holding you back from putting your chips all in? Because you know that if you had no fear, we've talked a lot about fear, and that's just we all have fear, right? We're all afraid of something. So we've talked about what the fear might be from your goal. Well, what is the fear that's holding you back from the action that you need to do? So let's talk about self-confidence on just a non-Thrive related, just a regular everyday atmosphere. I want you to think of a friend that you have. You probably all have someone like this. They are super sweet. You love them to pieces, but every time they say they're going to do something or be somewhere, they aren't or they don't, right? They always have an excuse. They have a reason. They were late. Something came up. They totally forgot, blah, 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 whatever it is. And you're still friends with them. You still love them. But you know if you need a ride to the airport, that's not the person you're calling, right? You know that. You already know that they're sweet. And you even you can make a lunch date with them, but you already know you're gonna be able to sit on your phone for 15 minutes when lunch is supposed to be starting because they won't even be at the restaurant yet, right? So there are people that you know you can do certain things with, and then people that you would actually rely on to do things with. Well, here is the kicker. When you make a promise to yourself, big or small, and you don't keep it, you chip away at your self-confidence. You become that friend to yourself. And oftentimes we treat ourselves way worse than we would ever treat another human. I can tell you all the ways I don't show up for myself, that if Laura Wernsman called me in the morning, I would be at her door to whatever it is that she needed. But I might not get up to do something for myself, right? So I want you guys to think about this. I want you to really make a practice of keeping your promises to yourself, because that's the skill that you need to learn so that you can feel comfortable and confident to put all your chips in with your business. When you start to feel your self-confidence get better and someone says to you, oh, I tried Thrive and it doesn't work, it's literally right off your shoulder. Like it's like a laser and you're like, bing, you missed me. My confidence is high. Sorry it didn't work for you. You probably did it wrong. Let's talk about that. Versus, oh, really? I don't know. Maybe you got a bad batch. You know, when you're not confident, you come up with the dumbest crap, right? Versus just knowing what you know. So I want you guys to pick something that you feel is maybe holding you back. As much as I do Facebook Live stuff and talk on Zoom and all this stuff, right? Wait, let me retract that. As much as I talk on Zoom and do stuff, and when someone invites me to be on a Zoom and do stuff, and as much as I preach about doing your own, I have not been doing my own lately. I've been showing up for a lot of other people, right? I'm that girl. I'll show up for you, but I've not been showing up for myself. So that's actually something I'm going to be practicing. That's a goal I'm going to set for myself. Before I'm showing up for other people, I'm going to make sure I'm showing up for myself and my business first. So how can you keep your promises to yourself? Well, first, I got 5 things here. The first of all is you have to make the promise, and you got to make it realistic, okay? So just like if somebody came to me today and they were like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks because I got a vacation coming up. We usually sit down and have a heart-to-heart when they come to me with that, right? So listen to yourself, what goal you just came up with, or when you come up with your goal, and be subjective. Be like, now wait, wait, Lisa Cook, did you really just say I committed to having 7 locals next week? Right? Like think about where you are, think about where you want to go. We're going to fall somewhere in the middle, but I want you to think about it. So you're going to have to make the promise, okay? And then that promise has got to become your #1 priority, and you cannot let anything get in the way. So if you said to yourself, my commitment to my business this week is I'm going to talk to 20 people a day, you probably want to talk to 20 people before you hop on Facebook to scroll, or you probably want to get up an hour early and send 20 messages before you even get dressed and ready for work, because that's your top priority. And you know, we all have good intentions, but sometimes we walk out the door and life hits us and those 20 people don't get contacted, right? It's got to become your number one priority. You have to be specific. And I kind of jumped ahead with that one, but you have to make the promise to yourself clear. You can't just say, I'm going to do more reach outs, because what's more? Like, were you doing none and so now you're going to do 2 and that's more? Or were you doing 10 and now you're going to do 30 and that's more? Only you know, because I don't know what you're doing. You have to be specific with this goal. It's got to be realistic, but it's got to be specific, and it needs to be your top priority. Number 4, and you might think this is crazy to say out loud, but you have to write it down. You got to write your promise down, because here's the thing, and I do this all the time. If I think it in my head, but I didn't tell anybody and I didn't even put it on a sheet of paper, nobody knows. So that's when I start negotiating with myself. Like, for instance, I was going to eat perfect today. And then maybe I had a Milk Duds, which I didn't today, but damn, they sound good, right? But, oh, someone's in the waiting room, I think. This makes me so, okay. So let's say I said I was going to eat perfect. Okay, yeah, so case in point, let's say I said, Self, you're going to eat perfect today, but Tom came home and he's like, hey, I got you Milk Duds. Well, he doesn't know I said that to myself. Nobody knows, because I didn't tell anybody. And I could be like, you know what? I was thinking Milk Duds. Let's totally do it, right? So, but if I wrote it down and actually like saw it, my eyes saw it, my brain read it, my heart felt it, I'm going to stick with it a whole lot more. So if you're saying I'm going to do a Facebook Live on Wednesdays at 10, like, let's get specific, right? If you write it down, first of all, that'll go on your calendar. So that's, you know, more likely to happen, but you're going to stay more committed to it. If I wrote it on my calendar, I would have to scribble it out, and I don't like a scribbly calendar, or I'd have to rip it up, which would be devastating because the whole month would go away. So make sure you write it down. And then chart your success. You guys, we are so good on Dream Team about celebrating people when they do good things, when something happens right. So celebrate your success. You know, like when you get a new customer and you get a shout out from your upline and you're like, yeah, I did. I got it. Do that for yourself. Like that feeling of I did what I said I was going to do. I did what I wanted to do. Make sure you're celebrating. So like, you know, if you, let's say your goal was to do 15 reach outs a day. On Monday, did you get it? Check. On Tuesday, did you get it? Check. On Wednesday, did you get it? Check. Like, do something that you can see to celebrate and keep track of your progress. And then lastly, reward that celebration. So I will tell you straight up right now, you guys don't even have to reward yourselves, because if you're using this technique to get to the GOAT, Lavelle's going to reward you. They're going to reward you with double commission. They're going to reward you with more than you could probably reward yourself with. Just earning it, being able to say you did it, that's also a celebration. That's also a way of honoring your success, okay? But I just know there are so many of you that want to go all in, myself included. Like every day I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like I was out in the yard today piddling with some flowers, and I started to clean everything up, and Tom was like, what are you going to go do? And I said, I got to get some work done. And he was like, oh, I didn't think you had to be on with Lindsay until 7. And this was like 5 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I don't. I'm like, but I got to get some work done. Like I got goals. I got stuff I got to get. I'm out here dicking around in the yard with these flowers that I love, but I got goals. So I put all my stuff away and I came inside. I didn't have to do that, right? But I have goals. I have things I want to do. So when you have that feeling and you're like, I want to put all my chips in, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? When I came back in, I didn't exactly know what I was going to do. So I actually popped into my accountability group that I've been in the last few months. And I was like, girls, what are you doing? And they sent me some ideas, and I just literally sat down and I shot out message after message after message after message. I made my goal to get all those messages out before I had to be on that live with Lindsay. So you can do a lot in a short period of time when you just pull your shoulders back and say, I'm going to do it. And so in that moment, when I came in, I felt confident enough in this business. I can't even say I felt confident like, oh, I'm going to hit the GOAT. That's not the confidence. The confidence was, I'm going to talk to people about this business. I'm going to talk to people about this product. I'm going to talk to people about how I can save them money. I can save them 20%, whatever. So anytime you're starting to waffle about your business or waffle about your effort, or I think we all have those days where, like, there are days where I'm going to do a Facebook post, and in my head, like way back here, I hear this voice, and she's like, "Don't nobody care about your Facebook post? Nobody cares, Timmy." Like, she talks back there some days, and I'm like, "Oh, she is mean." And that's the person who I would never be to somebody else. But for some reason, I do that to myself, right? I would tell you, send the damn message, right? Did I not just say that last night? Post the damn quote, post whatever that is. But sometimes we have that little voice. And so it's the building of the confidence that will shut her up faster than anything. So I want you guys to do a little soul searching, and I'm going to be quiet here, and we're going to start unmuting and talking. Like, when you think about pushing all of your chips in, like, if your Lavelle business was a poker game and you were looking at your deck of cards, your deck is so freaking stacked right now. It is so stacked. All you have to do is get $1,000 from your existing or new customers. A lot of you have existing customers, right? Or some of you could even just fork over some money and get the PV and just hit that. Your deck is stacked to earn double commission. What is stopping you? What are you afraid of? Why haven't you sent out 30 messages today? What is the voice back there telling you? Because she's a freaking liar. So you tell us what she's saying and we'll shut her down. Or him. TJ, you're on here. I'm sorry, I don't see your face, but I see your name. Ladies and TJ, tell me, like, let's talk about it. You can do it in chat if you don't want to. If you want to unmute and share some things. Like, do you understand where I'm going with this? That when you break your promise to yourself, it slowly but surely chips away at you, and it will affect you in so many ways. And you've probably all done it. I mean, I'm assuming, because I've done it, so I'm hoping you've all done it, and I'm not the only weirdo out here that's broken promises to herself. But anytime I start to break my promise, I think about that girl who I would never call to pick me up at the airport. And I don't want to be her. Like, I want to be the girl. Like, I want to be your girl. Any of you need me to pick you up at the airport, you call me. I'm coming. I want to do that for myself, right? So talk to me. Talk to me in chat. Wait, oh, Laura's still waiting. It won't let me do it, Laura.
Okay.
Can you? There you go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I just need to get this off my chest because I've been struggling really bad ever since before my dad passed. I didn't think Thrive was working for me anymore. So it was very hard for me to be authentic and reach out to people about Thrive because it wasn't working for me. I didn't feel like it was. I mean, it was, but I was in a really deep, dark place, and I just couldn't pull myself out of it. So anyway, I was doing the bare minimum, and my numbers show, but I still kept doing stuff. But I just got to tell you guys this, that new DFT, that recharge, I don't know what's in it, but I feel like a different person the past 2 days. I feel like myself again. Mm-hmm. I can't even describe how I feel. I feel like I'm thriving all over again. I don't feel depressed anymore. I actually sat down yesterday and sent out like 100 emails and messages and sent out about the same amount today. I just feel like I'm back on track again. And it's not like I lost my confidence. I mean, maybe I did in a way, but it was more like a mental, emotional confidence. But anyway, I had to get that off my chest. So,
well, let's acknowledge that you more than earned some downtime. Like, more than earned it. You went through a lot of shit, and that's putting it nicely. Mm-hmm. And so it's okay. But I love that you said that even when you weren't sure, you were doing the bare minimum. And I think that is your subconscious being so committed to your business and your team that even when you didn't want to get out of bed, mm-hmm. you were still showing up. You were still sharing the posts. You were still sharing the promos. You were still doing the stuff. And I think that should be acknowledged, because that's the hard part. When you don't feel good, it's hard to give a rat about mm-hmm. anybody else. So mm-hmm. You always respond so quickly to new products. Like, I have worn the patch 2 nights in a row. I'm going to wear it again tonight. I don't know if I'll feel anything, but like Laura, the very first night, she's like, "Oh my God, look at this. I slept so much better." Like, she always responds so quickly. So I kind of feel like that was Jesus stepping in and being like, "Hey, Laura, we're going to pump you back up and get you going again." So kudos to you. I'm glad you got that off your chest because I'm sure it's been bothering you. But please know that we all know you've been through a lot. And
Yeah.
we're just happy.
Well, I mean,
You had your face on these Zooms when I'm sure you didn't want to even be here.
I missed a couple weeks, but I mean, some of it was because like things were actually happening. But
Right.
I mean, there were sometimes I didn't even want to show up. I'll be honest. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to be pumped up. I didn't want to, I don't know. I didn't want to hear it. It's hard. It's hard to describe when you're depressed like that, how you seriously can't pull yourself out of it. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm getting there.
Good. Welcome back, Laura.
Thank you.
Who else wants to share? Put your hands in the air. Oh. Sandra D, you are unmuted.
Well, I feel like, and so, I don't have any kiddos at the house. So there's Gunner. How many times am I going to take a picture of Gunner and post it during the day? So I feel like I don't have anything to post. I mean, there is so much crap that goes on in Olivia's life. Courtney's burning down her kitchen. I mean, it's like, what am I going to post? The fact that I'm doing my dang laundry? I mean, which I don't even like to do that. So that's where I struggle during the day is, I'm great with my morning posts. But those like midday and later in the afternoon, I'm like, well, I ain't got anything going on around here. I'm just watching the birds. And I
feel your pain. I don't have any kids either. And you can only put so many pictures of the dogs up. I totally understand. But you have such an ability to connect to people. I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but you can get you'll call me and we'll be on the phone and I will literally have had no thought of being on the phone with Sandra. And then 30 minutes later, we're like, oh my God, we've been on the phone forever. You're just so good at actually talking to people. So maybe you could just start posting about the fact that you enjoy talking to people. Who did you talk to today? Mm-hmm. What story do you have to share today? I mean, you have the best, funniest freaking stories.
There's always something.
Exactly. And you do have grandbabies coming and a grandbaby already here. So you do have those and you could just steal those pictures from Ainsley. Nobody's going to worry about that. But I think that is just you getting in your head because you probably are literally bored and staring at birds. I get it. Yeah. I think a lot of us get it. I have struggled that's when that voice is like, nobody cares. So I have literally had to find quotes. I have scrolled in Instagram, Pinterest, and I've scrolled until a quote grabbed me. And if it grabbed me, I'm like, okay, wait, what was it about this that I liked?
Yes.
And then I will take that quote and then add some words to it. And I've shared it. Everybody knows I love animals and flowers and Tom. So, and Thrive.
Well, and I was going to, okay, so I did. I had this picture yesterday. So I've got that little tray that has those little brown discs that you put the water in.
Yes.
And that's why I thought it was snowing. Seriously.
Oh God,
they were not blooms. They were not blooms, y'all. But anyway.
That was hilarious.
So these little brown discs, they grow. Mm-hmm. And so I almost put it on Facebook or on stories yesterday to say, what am I growing? And to me, they look like pieces of poop, but I was afraid somebody would think they were a pee-pee.
But see, that would probably have gotten a lot of interaction.
So maybe I need to put it on there. I still have it in my phone. I mean, this is a riot. And then
you should still share it.
Okay.
So Laura and I were in a group chat together. And it's funny. There is stuff that I will put in that group chat that I would probably not ever put on Facebook. It's the hilarious stuff that's not politically correct or appropriate for a business. But every blue moon, I'll share something in there and I'll think, what, that is just flat out funny. I can just share that on my Facebook page. People want to be entertained. We got to remember, we inform, we inspire, or we entertain. So if you are feeling unentertained, what would you want in that moment? If you were scrolling through Facebook, what would catch your eye? What would be funny for you? Mm-hmm. So try to think that way.
Yeah, that's where I think I kind of get in my mind and I struggle because I'm like, I don't know what to post. I've already posted my 3 steps. I've already done that, and so that's where I think part of the midday, I'm like, what's it going to be? So,
you can even show yourself just sitting there and be like, okay, time for a poll. Should I stay in the birdhouse and try to work, or should I move to the living room and put my feet up down there? Just ask people. A lot of us are struggling with okay, I spent some time on the couch. I think I'll go spend some time in the chair now. Like,
Yeah.
thank God it was nice and pretty out today. We could go outside, but
Oh, thank goodness.
just remember, I mean, I feel
Okay.
like we all, if you boil it down, we all truly live fairly boring lives. Like, that's why we're on Facebook. There are people living amazing lives. They don't even log into Facebook, right? So it's okay to share even the mundane. Like, what are you cooking? You know, did you work out today? Like, what, you know, whatever. So
Well-
yeah, just get out of your head. You're good. But honestly, when you have moments like you think that it's snowing, because when you posted that, I immediately like closed out Facebook and pulled up the weather app because I was like, what is happening? And it was like 50 something. And then I saw Laura shared the temperature and I was like, oh, Sandra's having a moment. But that's
Well,
people love you.
I'm not sharing this today, but I took Gunner for a walk and I had to pick up the poop and I got it on my finger.
Now, see, you should share it. You should share it. How many people have picked up poop and got shit on your hand? I mean, I've done it.
I was grossing out. I was like wiping my hand in the grass. So anyway, I'm done.
You should ask. Do you wipe your hand in the grass or do you carry a towel? How do you take your dog for a poo walk? See,
Yeah.
you got funny stuff going on during the day. Who else wants to talk? Courtney, I'm going to unmute you whether you wanted to or not. Sorry about the lack of notice. But your Facebook Live yesterday about burning your Instapot, girl.
Yeah.
First of all, we got to get you another Instapot. We
I
must
know.
replace that ASAP.
I know.
Mike needs to.
Devastated. But yeah, I did want to say something though, kind of touching back on Laura Warnsman, because I know exactly how that feels, because there have been a couple times that I've been ready to throw in the towel. Like, yeah, I can just take my Thrive and no one else cares. And I know it works for me, but nobody's buying it. And I get 3 likes on my post and it's just all my thriving friends and no one else. So I totally understand and relate where you're coming from. So that's not unnormal for you to feel that way. And I also used Recharge last night for the first time. And I even told Tammy this morning was the first time that I have been up before 7:45, and I can't tell you how long. Like, I got up at 6:30 this morning and was like, what time is it? And I like at 6:30 and I was like, oh my God, like the first time I ever made a Kayla Fox Zoom at 7 a.m. Like every time I see those on the page, I'm like, yep, not watching that one, or at least live, because I'm sleeping. Like, no. So when I got up this morning at 6:30 and was just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna watch that live Zoom this morning. I'm gonna take a shower and wash my hair. Like, I just had time. And then, I've got this little new office set up in here and I've gotten things out of it and I'm trying to make it a place where I can come and just be and just focus. And during Kayla Fox's Zoom, we're talking about affirmations, which we talk about affirmations all the time. I have never had affirmations other than when I'm writing out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that I'm consistent with.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you just do it because you're getting your work done, right? Like, let's be honest. Not all the time are we just like really feeling these affirmations. So this morning I was just in that moment and I was in that zone and I printed off new affirmations and I moved my vision board from my kitchen to my office.
Oh, yes.
And I'm making it a point to be in here, to distract myself, to leave my phone in my bedroom. Yes, I have my computer, but it's easier to scroll on a phone than it is a computer. So I'm trying to take those steps to tell that girl in the back of my head, you don't get to run my day. You're not the boss of me. So I know we're getting kind of low on time.
You're good. We got 9
I saw
minutes
the little
left.
thing. I saw the little thing pop up there. But yeah, so I know it's hard right now with everything going on. This world is insane. People are even more insane. And, we just got to take it day by day and do the best we can every day. So I'll pass it back to you in case anybody else wants to say something.
Fabulous. I just want to add really quick to what Courtney was just saying, like how it's the whole, like, you have to run your day. And so my sister is watching way too much of the news, and when she's on Facebook, and so she is like in this constant angry, she's upset all the time. And all I'm saying is, get off the news. Heather, step away from Facebook. Heather, stop reading the news. And I am choosing, I don't know if this is good, bad, or ugly. I'm choosing to be uninformed, because here's the thing. Until they say we can open, nothing else matters to me. I can go get food when I need it. We're home, we're safe. And until I'm given the green light to go back to work, nothing else really matters. So I get the highlight, but I do not watch the news conferences. I do not sit through the whole thing. I do not dwell over it. I don't read the shit on Facebook. Everybody has an opinion, and that's great. And I probably have one too, but I'm not spending my time worried about something I can't control, because that's a waste of energy and effort. What I can control is how many people I talk to every day about my business, the business that is still open. So at any time I start to feel caught up or worried or nervous, I just go into action of what I can control. And so, like, it could have been planting a flower today. I can control what's going in the ground, and it's going to be pretty. I can control a load of laundry. I can control a reach out. And so anytime you feel out of control for any reason, like any stress, whether it's COVID-19 or not, the best thing to do is to be in action of things you can control. That is the best way to handle and keep running your life. Otherwise, you're letting headlines run your life, scared people run your life, mean people run your life. So I don't know. I choose to be uninformed. Lisa Cook, your face is on here. You're not driving though, right?
No.
Okay, talk to us. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, we love you.
Confidence is something I've struggled with all my life.
Mhm.
And I just can't seem to get out of my own way. But I feel like I've had a shift. I don't know why I've got so much tears. You guys are amazing. You're so supportive. I've just got to do it. So that's why I wrote that note today. Throw the dang ball. Just do it. So I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm crying.
You know why you're crying? Because you're making room for good. You're getting all that crap out and making room for good. So you texted me and you told me that you felt a shift, like you literally physically felt a shift in your mind. What did that feel like? What was that moment like?
It's like, I can do this. I can be successful. I can help somebody feel better. You know, you guys know I hate lives, but I'm getting pretty stinking good at them.
You are. They're so good.
So I've been able to overcome that. But I mean, I grew up with, and I don't mean this bad, but in the South where, the women are to be seen and not heard. And,
Right.
My dad never valued education. And I don't know, just always, all my life, I've struggled with my self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stinking 55 years old, so why can't I do this? Why can't I be successful? So Kayla Fox has said it this past week. They said it on Saturday. Just do it. I just got to quit listening to everything. I know what I need to do. My word. I've been taking notes for 3 years. I've just got to do it.
So I want you to think about something really quickly. You have 2 amazing children who are healthy and intelligent, and that is a huge success. You did that. I'm sure your husband helped, but you did that. We all know the mom does that, right? You work for Butler County. They give you quite a bit of responsibility because they know you can handle it, because you are successful, you're intelligent, and you're strong, right? So if your children turned out great and this county wants to write you a check every week for doing this work, I can guarantee you can send somebody your web link and talk about Thrive. I know you can do it.
I know.
I love that you're letting it out though. Hey, Courtney wants to talk to you.
Okay.
You're on mute, Court.
Lisa,
Yes.
if you have ever doubted that you don't have a story, sister, what you just said, I mean, I have tears in my eyes for you. What you just said, that is your story and you share it. Be vulnerable. It's okay to show the ugly side sometimes. The hard stuff.
I cry so ugly.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, when I say ugly stuff, I mean like
I know.
the hard parts of the story that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, there may be so many other women out there that are your age that grew up like that, and they have no one to talk to about it. But you could be that person for them.
I've never thought of that, honestly.
Your mess is your message.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, I nailed that one. Sometimes I say that and I screw it up completely. Oh, I'm so glad I made you talk, Lisa.
Thank you. And you got
No, thank you. And anytime you start to get nervous, I want you to remember that moment that you texted me about when you said, I felt a shift. Close your eyes, remind yourself what it felt like, and just move forward.
Yeah, like I said, Kayla Fox said it. You posted that post, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Tammy's living in my head." And then several people on Saturday, I can do this. Just do it. My word, it's not rocket science.
So the post I made that she's talking about is when I said, I want to see you win. Screw what other people think of you. They don't pay your bills. And I think that is the thing that stops so many people. We're so worried what someone's going to think of us. But here's the thing. They're going to think whatever they think, no matter what. If you succeed at this, they're going to think that, oh, it's because it's Lisa and she's got connections and she thinks she's better than us. And if you fail at it, they'll be like, well, because it's Lisa. So it doesn't matter. You do what works for you, right?
Right.
Everybody has an opinion. Again, everybody's got a damn opinion and everyone's so vocal with them lately. I ain't got time for that. All right. Oh, Sandra wants to talk.
Okay. I don't know how much time you have left.
2
but
minutes.
anyway, like what
Just
I'm
talk till the screen goes black.
Okay. So what I see right now is when I look at each single person in these boxes, like, we're almost the Brady Bunch here. I can tell every single one of you what I see is your strength and how take it and run with it. And that's the crazy thing is that we don't always see what our strengths are. We focus on only that weakness that we can't fix, not the weakness that we can tweak and overcome. Like Tammy was talking about our business, we only focus on the one that just is hard to fix, and but I can.
Maybe it's one that somebody told you can't fix, but in reality you can. You just believed all these years that you can't.
And I see everybody on here. I mean, now Teresa, I see your T, TJ, I see your TJ, but I know things about you too that are amazing. And so there's no reason why all of us on here aren't busting it. I mean, I sent some really crazy messages today and I'm sure I'm going to get the ignore for a while, whatever.
They were going to ignore you anyway, right?
Exactly. They're going to ignore me anyway. I did message Edie and I said, Edie, what the heck are you saying? She said, I'm just looking at their posts to see what it is that they're tired of.
And she's doing voice clips. She has finally learned the magic of her own voice. And that is somebody who had to learn the power of her own voice. That's a lesson right there.
But
so it's about to black out on us.
Y'all are all amazing.
I love all of you. Thank you.
I'll see you Bye.